I found a video on my Snapchat like memories
That's scary.
of you getting your stick and poke from Hannah.
Yeah.
You did not take it well.
No, I don't. I don't get tattooed well either. It's the same as me sitting in the chair. It hurts.
It was
I don't
just
like
you being
needles.
like, ah.
I've got it done, and it's on my save the date little postcard that you get in the mail, and you
Wait, what?
I don't know. Rachel's handling it. It's,
Hang on, what's on your save date?
the tattoo that Hannah gave me. It's the only visible tattoo
That's
you
the
can
Deathly
see.
Hallows thing
Uh-huh.
from fucking Harry Potter.
Uh-huh.
That's on your wedding as an adult. Save the date.
Yeah, it's what I'm getting at.
Okay.
I'm in a club, dude.
What club?
Fucking Deathly Hollows.
You didn't even say it right.
Deathly Hollows. It's this thick milkshake. It's tough to, it's protein.
Why the fuck are you drinking a milkshake?
Because I'm getting big.
How's that going?
Seems too planned. We talked about, we were like, hey, what are we going to talk
Just
about?
fucking
Okay,
answer
I'm
the
sorry.
question. No one would ever know, man.
I know.
Now they know.
I know. We're letting them in on the
A little bit of behind the
Before-
scenes.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
we brought up how we were going to talk about how AlecG's trying to get bigger.
Yeah. Let into it. I feel self-conscious now.
God, okay.
Okay.
You want to reset? We can
Yeah,
reset.
yeah.
Bring up the milkshake.
Hey, man, I've been drinking this milkshake.
No, it's not what you said. You
Okay.
said it's this milkshake.
Okay. I've taken acting before. I've taken an acting class, an entire semester of how to act. So give me a second. Let me set. So I've been drinking a milkshake.
So I can do it for you if you want.
What's my line?
It's this milkshake. It makes it hard to talk.
I was once going to be a voice actor. Give me a
If
second.
you get stuck, just call line. I'll tell you the line.
It's this milkshake. It really makes it hard to talk.
I didn't like how you read that, but all right.
Yeah. They said I needed work.
You're trying to get bigger
Why'd that seem so natural?
because I'm acting. I didn't have to take a
It's
class,
such a
man.
skill. Like, fuck.
I was just watching Norm Macdonald talk.
I
and
didn't
was
realize
like, it would
acting was
just be
so hard to
awkward.
do on the spot.
When do you not act on the spot?
Dude, I'm trying and it's so tough. I can't even say the word milkshake right.
One more.
Okay. What's my line?
It's this milkshake. It makes it hard to talk.
It's this milkshake. It makes it hard to talk. Unbelievable, right? You don't believe shit.
Like, yeah, it's this milkshake. It makes it hard to talk. Or it's this milkshake. It makes it hard to talk.
Yeah.
Or it's the milkshake. It
Anyway,
makes it hard
dude,
to
I'm
talk.
just trying to get bigger. Like, I'm trying to put on a little bit of weight and a little bit of muscle.
How much
um,
weight? How much muscle?
Enough to wear like
Well, you're at 175 right now.
176. I just weighed in 176.2. Yeah, trying to get up to 195. I think that'd be a good weight for me to like bulk up to.
Felix,
Yeah. Just making sure the cat doesn't pause our
destroy all the
podcast.
shit.
Yeah. But yeah, that'd be a good weight for I'm gonna be a little hefty. I'm gonna have to start adding in cardio. I did realize that today. I don't do a lot of cardio as far as running, so I need to.
running sucks.
It does suck.
Use the bike, man.
Well, yeah, probably
Like
that or
that's-
the rower.
Yeah, those things are not going to destroy your knees and hips. I
Yeah.
fucking hate running,
Yeah.
and it just hurts people, man.
Well, if you run wrong.
Most people run wrong,
Mhm.
and like bad shoes and concrete, and they're like, why do I have problems?
Yeah. Speaking of shoes.
You finally get the right size.
Oh yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, they fit exactly how they should. Like I've slipped them on. Like, oh yeah, these don't need a lot of breaking in at all.
They looked comically small last time. I was like, there's no way that's right.
Yeah, these are great. It's a great material. I don't know, super fit material, super fit 8, some kind of bullshit proprietary fabric that they came up with. Anyway, it's really good. They said for rope climbs and like it won't tear or cut as far as like going across rocks, or if you're doing it for CrossFit, if you're doing it for like, just in the gym,
CrossFit's silly.
just because you suck at it.
No, because it's a silly thing.
Why?
With bad form and
Why?
a high risk of injuries.
Most people. But I enjoy when I watch the CrossFit games. I enjoy those athletes because I'm like, yeah, this is pretty cool. I can't do that.
Yeah, but also like how many pull-ups do they do?
Wow.
None.
Why?
Because they don't count.
They don't count.
You can't just swing your body violently and go, this is a pull-up.
Depends. What do you count as a pull-up?
I don't count swinging your body violently as a pull-up.
What do you count as a pull-up? What's a pull-up?
Starting locked out hanging and pulling your body up and then going back down to locked out and hanging.
They go through a lockdown hanging. It might be for like, a phase as it swings through. But
Yeah, but they're just
can you
like,
do a kipping pull-up?
Yeah, anyone can.
Can you do a butterfly?
I don't know what that is, but probably.
The motion that they're doing where you can constantly do it. Because you can't just, if you're kipping, you go through a full swing through. If you're butterflying, you're
it's
kind of
the
like a
circle
round.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably.
Probably, or can you?
I've never tried.
I know, because you're unathletic.
I can do a lot of things.
What can you do? Would your mom tell you you can be an astronaut? You can be president? Anybody can be president. Anybody.
Hey, read that line again about the milkshake.
It's this milkshake. It's making it hard to talk.
That was actually somehow the best one.
Because I had a lot of anger from that one. It was real genuine anger.
But how long is it going to take you to get that big?
I don't know, man. Like I'd like to bulk. It's probably going to take like a year or two. It's going to be a progression.
Well, no shit, it's going to be a progression.
Yeah, I don't have the time to like invest into my nutrition and all that right now. So it's kind of a slower process as far as like prepping. It's hard to eat that much.
I know a guy who ate 83 shrimp the other day.
Yeah. Like, here's the thing. I don't want to give up my digestion for just getting bigger.
Yeah,
because once you start bulking and really starting to push it on certain, like when I start pushing the carbs and different things, I'm like, oh, I got to have a toilet nearby at least twice a day. Like I know my times, but like got to be nearby one.
Yeah.
So that's why I like leaning out more and just kind of that thing. But yeah, so you can only push bulking so much if you don't want to blow your asshole out.
I do it anyway.
I saw a little TikTok of how it's like a pretty cool cartoon of a medical page of how they remove hemorrhoids and how they begin.
Oh
yeah, and I was like, I'll just that image and this little smiling little shit that goes through the colon and how it hangs down and they cut it and slice. I'm like, I know that it made me go like that, and I was like, I don't want to eat that much. Seems like an issue.
And you can't hear like slicing in relation to your asshole and not like clinch. Like no.
Because it's an outpatient thing. It's not like they're putting you under.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like you're up on stirrups, like you're giving birth to something, and they're just numbing up your asshole with a needle. You can't see it, and then they're going, shh.
That can't be right.
And how else do you get rid of hemorrhoids?
Preparation H. That's the hemorrhoid cream.
I mean, that's the if you want to live with it cream, or you can get rid of it.
I don't want to get it cut off.
See, it's just like it's a choice, personal choice.
Do you want to? You can keep seeing me squirm over here
because you're thinking about like,
yeah, man.
Yeah,
my hips don't stop moving.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We got 3 people fighting Saturday, and the one guy that I thought was going to have the hardest weight cut seems to be having the easiest. He's going from like 210 to 170, and he's just fine. And everyone else that had to lose like 20 pounds is like, this sucks.
Yeah, but the more you have to lose, the easier it is.
I know, but I thought he was really, really far at one point. Like I thought he was still like 200 pounds.
Average is like 24 pounds for men.
The
weight cuts.
Yeah, dude, it sucks.
Yeah, because like when I step on stage, I should be, when I go up to like probably 185, 195 is cool, but probably 185, I'll have to cut down to 165, 160.
Is it like a little boy competition?
I'm going to look so goddamn peeled and shredded and deathly. Like I'm going to want to kill myself because I'm going to be, but.
Did it make you suck water out too?
If you want to win.
Like, is that what it is?
I mean, it depends. If you have more water, you have more of a fullness look, which your muscles look bigger, but usually the dried out look is what you want, like where it looks like your skin's like all crinkly and
Where your
like
body looks bad and wrong.
no, paper thin. You want the veins and the muscles sticking out, and that's the look. You want
then-
it to be hard and dry,
And you go up there
looking like that,
like basically, ugh, that sucks.
imposing, and just hoping that like
You don't pass out.
cramp, dude. Imagine hamstring cramp on stage. Like, what do? You fall down in your underwear, holding your leg. You're like, help.
That'd be fun.
And then a bunch of other men in underwear come to help you. I mean, it sounds like a terrible dream.
No men in underwear ever come to help me. They just come to like hit me and stuff and pass my guard.
Yeah. It's just sexualized
Trying
now.
to
Like,
pass my guard.
why do we have to wear as men our underwear to fucking do these things that we love? We should be able to wear fucking.
That's the thing that always gets me about like people with the
I
WWE.
can't even go anywhere with that. Like,
No,
of course
hell
we take our shirts off. Like I don't know why.
Yeah, you're gonna do a bodybuilding competition in a fucking shirt.
Yeah, I have no bet for that. There's no.
No, with like wrestling, you always hear people like, why do the women have to wear what they wear? And it's like, did you not see the guy in the Speedo?
Mhm.
That's just gear, man. You get to pick that. It's
Yeah.
up to them.
And here's the thing with the woman. Like, if you see her in her underwear, it's like it's a woman in her underwear. If you see a man in his underwear, you're like, he's not working real much. Like, you got to be a confident motherfucker to be just standing in your underwear because your package is there to show. A woman's vagina on every woman pretty much looks the same, but a man's
It
package,
doesn't look the same.
for the most part,
On the well, if you have something over it,
yes, over it. But like, you can stand a line of men in their tidy whities and be like, small dick, big dick. That clearly,
What if you're a grower?
it still sucks. Then you better not be growing when you're a bunch around like on stage with a bunch of men there when you're getting your flaccid dick measured. That's not the point.
They
We want
measure your
flaccid.
dick?
In my competition,
know.
no,
You don't know. They might.
this is my first competition. I'm not sure.
They
I
might.
got to ask more questions.
They might measure it. They
I'm 6 foot and I have a 7-inch dick,
You're gonna
doctor.
be like, no, and you've just been weight cutting, so you can't get hard. That's true, by the way.
No, you can get hard. It's just
No, like in fighting, if a dude's like in their fight week, it's not happening.
I feel like there's
Everything's
fighters
so
that
low,
fight.
dude.
I feel like John Jones probably fucks.
Not that fucking weak.
I bet he does.
I bet he.
I bet he
hits his
does at
wife.
night.
Oh, after the weigh-ins and rehydration, yeah, that's not a problem no more.
Hmm.
It's literally because like you're
There's a betting website that we can like put wagers on each other. Like we can actually bet on this.
on what?
Like the idea that John Jones is.
How would we ever find out?
I think other people can then join in on the bet, and there's definitely crazy motherfuckers out there that will like, we'll figure this out. People will join in on our bet.
I don't
It's an
wanna
app
do-
I
don't-
heard.
I don't want to do that.
You know
I don't want to do that.
why?
He's a violent guy.
It's gonna come for you because I'm saying he's a G that fucks.
You think he's a good guy? He beats his wife. You think he's a good guy?
No, I didn't say that. I think he's a G that fucks.
You like him?
I like his fighting style.
You like him as a person though?
I think there's some questionable things that he's done as a
Some?
person. The ones that I've seen.
98% of the decision making, it seems. Ugh, but
Mhm.
man, I'm so stressed
Why?
because the fights, man, and that because we got these this weekend, and December 4th we have like 3 or 4 more people. I'm gonna be really happy when it's over. Because like watching people that you work with and people that you train with, when it's you can't do anything about it once they're in there. You know,
Mhm.
like there's nothing you can really do about it.
No, I've wrestled. I've watched
Yeah.
Tyler squirm around before, like on his back, like I knew, like we all knew, but Tyler would wrestle some of these fucking just He's at 152, so these muscular
He's at
fucking meatballs.
152.
Yeah, when he was wrestling, they were
I
meatball
was too
kids.
big.
Yeah, dude, they're giant motherfuckers. And Tyler was really good off of fighting off his back because he had to be. He had a lot of practice. So like you get really good at what you practice a lot,
Yeah.
which is like usually him in a bridge position, going like this, just constantly fucking walking around. The worst part is that his like persistence as a person and like that just came through in wrestling. So he'd persistently for like that time, you wouldn't pin him. It'd just be like it'd just be a constant walk. But like we all knew this was the end. This was the conclusion of the match. 2 minutes in, Tyler would be to his back. Walk, keep circling. You almost got to get his leg. Oh, you almost had it. He flattened you back out. Keep going, Bridge. And Tyler would just, after that break would come, because Tyler's a full body breather. Because when he gets tired, he goes, he pumps his arms like it's gonna work anymore. Like I don't know what the fuck's happening.
Dude, it's so stupid and straight because like you really can't do anything about it. Like at that point, it is what it is.
Yeah, and you know their weaknesses. You know, like when they're like, "Oh fuck," you're like drive, but you're like, "You're not a good driver."
Like no, I know.
Like stop backing up, and you're like, "Oh, you're probably not gonna stop backing up."
I know the injuries like Jake has, for example, going into this fight. I know the injuries Justin has, and like they're not great ones to have.
Yeah, like bruised, like earlobe, and
like jaw. Like something's fucked with one of their shins, like bad. To the like because they kicked me, and their shin hit my knee.
Dude, why are you hurting people?
They
we went over this one last. Yeah. It's always someone. It's always their fault. It's always that person. No, it's always. Why are you always? You're a bad juju. Like some people should just stop.
Nah,
you need
dude.
plastic. We went over this last time. You sliced my eye open.
That's your fault.
You blame the other person. Look at you. Look at you. You're sitting there like, no, I did. All these accidents happen with you,
Jake
and then all of a sudden you're like, no, there's no coincidence.
The Jake one,
there's no coincidence.
No one was to blame. The you one, you're to blame.
Hey, do you think it's weird that like JFK got blocked from like all those papers? Like they're not coming out. The Biden administration won't let them be released. Because I got really excited for a little bit during the summer when I thought that was coming. Did you not?
And they were like, I forgot that they brought that up.
Did you not see that recently? It was denied. Like they're not coming out for another, what was it, 10 years?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
Aren't you upset? Don't you want to know what happened to JFK? Because they have some, I guess, because what that means is that there's still people alive that it would harm. Like that's why else would you block it?
Yeah.
Other than like because of its history, but it's also only 80 years ago, so there might be some night. Okay, so 60. Yeah, I'm terrible at math. So like there might be like an 82-year-old, 84-year-old that's
56 years ago.
I thought it. I just want to know.
Yeah, you probably will.
When?
10 years from now, you'll be in your 30s. You'll be all right. That's it's not that long. You're not gonna be like crazy old. You'll be able to live like a lot of your life knowing. What do you think happened?
Well, I think obviously I think that our government probably had something to do with it. There's not just one bullet, because
I think it was an MK Ultra thing.
Why? See, I've been getting into that too, because the Ghislaine Maxwell thing going on right now, and the whole MK Ultra when we brought Nazi scientists over.
That's Operation Paperclip.
Yes, but they got in.
MK Ultra is.
Yes, shut the fuck up. I'm gonna kick you in the calf right there.
Jolly West was the guy behind.
Yes, okay. Here's the thing. We brought Nazi scientists after World War II
For
over to
Operation
America.
Paperclip.
Yes. And then some of those scientists, because we were in a Cold War with Russia, some of those scientists started working on MK Ultra as well. And we tried inducing split personalities and trying to bridge off personalities of adults through LSD and experiments. But we found that it was very hard to do because adults already have well-formed personalities.
It's uncontrollable too.
It is. And you know, it's a lot easier to control an unformed personality and a lot more malleable of a brain, usually that of a child. So they started experimenting on childs, and the way that you can split a child's personality and get them to separate themselves so that you can program part of them is to abuse them or to do something that's so catastrophic and so damning to their like consciousness that it splits to like preserve their piece of sanity. And then you can program that. So they started doing that to children. So goes the conspiracy. And that's why Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell have a connection to the CIA and everything, is because they handled a lot of that. And
you think that's what that is?
I don't know. What do you think it is?
I don't know. All I know about the JFK thing a little bit.
Do you think we still do mind control experiments?
Jolly West was in the hate in like 1967 with a fake hippie crash pad funded by the CIA to bring in hippies who wanted to do LSD. And basically they ended up drugging people and watching, and it was funded by the government out in the open. And then the papers came out in the early 70s about it. And guess what happened? Nobody gave a fuck. You know who was called in, by the way?
What?
When to talk to Jack Ruby. You know who Jack Ruby is?
Yeah.
Jolly West. After he killed Oswald, he was like saying he heard noises and all this weird shit in his jail cell. So they call in Jolly West to be the psychiatrist for him.
Well, that's
there's another case where a guy on an army base, where they were doing some goofy tests, goes out and he rapes and kills a little girl and comes back nothing, no memory of it, zero things. Jolly West was working there at the time.
Yeah. So
that guy's up to some shit.
So are we still doing that?
Oh yeah, Jolly West and Charlie Manson were in the same building at the same time. Manson's parole officer and case officer was at the same building as Jolly West.
So it seems like we're having some success with the MK Ultra, right? As a government, like we're having some like positive.
It seems like the Manson thing was probably the government.
And it seems like there's some success though. There's some like evidence that we should probably pursue this, right? Yeah. Do you think that we stopped pursuing that?
No, I just think it's funny when people are like, you have to trust the government, and it's like, what have they done? Why would I do that? Like,
yeah.
On what level would you be like, yeah, they didn't do the Manson thing? Oh yeah, no, they didn't do like the Tuskegee experiments. No, Operation Paperclip's not a thing.
Yeah, I'm just always like, because that's going on too. Like that's a structure and a framework of the world that's also going on within our other frameworks of the world of like, we're still dealing with COVID, we're still dealing with mass mandates and vaccines and different things. And like all that's going on, but also there's a lot of child like abuse going on and a lot of sex trafficking. And then there's like also like technology's growing and what's AI doing? Because I listened to a Google talk the other day, or like, I forget who, like, he doesn't work for Google, but he ran Google for like a while. I don't know, not good with names. Anyway, he was saying like how parenting is going to shift and how we're just going to have to accept how parenting is going to shift, because how do you parent a child where they have grown up with their teddy bear that helps them learn their ABCs and their numbers and helps them like interact and start to like form sentences. And then that teddy bear is with them till they're 7. And now it's starting to help them make this, because technology is growing. So that's now helping them make decisions and starting to help them progress. And then by the time it's 11, when they're watching TV together on the couch, and that teddy bear turns to what is now your son or daughter, and they're now best friends and are connected, because that child knows no different than that and the next door neighbor Billy, who is now like, they're just the same thing. Like it sees this teddy bear as a friend, and that teddy bear turns and goes, hey, I don't like this fucking show. And the guy and your kid goes, me neither.
You don't give them.
You don't give them the teddy bear that everybody has. Cool. This
Yeah.
is great. This is awesome because this is the same answer Rachel had. I was like, what do you do?
You just
And
don't
Rachel's
give
like,
them
oh,
the
we don't give
thing.
him the teddy bear.
Yeah, man.
You don't give your kid the teddy bear that everybody has. So now he's a social outcast because all his friends are going up with it.
Okay, but like, hang on.
Okay.
Let's use us as an example here, right?
Okay.
We're getting married, right?
So our kids aren't going to have it, maybe.
So
But when they go to school, so what are we going to do? We're going to have two weirdo kids. I'm not going to
I
have a weirdo
fucking
kid.
hope so, dude.
I don't want
Just
I know what
teach
weirdo
'em to
kids
be
turn
like
into.
normal.
Oh, just
man.
teach them to be like normal. Hey
Yeah.
man, we're gonna be like normal guys. We're gonna live in Ohio. We're gonna farm. We're gonna.
No, let them like experiment with like staring outside.
Did you just say experiment
Yeah,
with staring outside? Like this is some new founded thing. Like holy
what
shit,
kids- it
Christopher
is for
Columbus,
kids.
you are.
It
Look at
is for
you
kids.
trying to take credit for what's already been found. Bunch of indigenous people already here, and you're like, you know what? Plant. Hey kids, stare outside. Stare out into the abyss. Wow. Why didn't I just read Plato? You know what? That dumb fuck didn't have it a couple of thousand years ago. Just stare out and
He
be
said
bored.
stare at a wall. But
So
like,
yeah, you're not gonna
I
let your
think
kid
we're
have a no. You're not gonna let him have a teddy bear.
not a weird talking sentient teddy bear.
It's literally what every teddy bear is kind of right now.
No, it's not.
Most learning and education toys are meant and like they have the what is it like where it's human like facial like where it's anthropomorphized. Now I'm not confident. I don't know.
Anamorphic.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
I
Confident
know.
either.
Man,
I know the word.
I
you're
gotta stick to
driving
two
at.
syllables.
Anthropomorphic. Is there?
Yep, that was it.
Anthropomorphic.
Yep. Yes, so properties and yeah, so these as that progresses, that's the thing. It's just like it's going to age and it doesn't matter. So let's say we get a group together and we got a good group of parents that like, okay, we don't do that. And it's like 10 kids. There's still thousands and thousands and thousands of kids and all are like, this is what's going to happen and grow up. Like this, like parents, like I know some dumb fuck friends that are going to let their kids just be parented by their, but then those people grow up and then they
don't get a
businesses.
head start. No, they don't. Those dumb fuck kids that aren't being parented by parents.
Well, how do you think things
They
are
don't have any fucking interpersonal skills. They're just constantly staring at screens or talking to nothing.
I agree.
Those kids are not going to be the ones that are winners. The kids that are going to be the ones that can fucking win are the ones that are nurtured in terms of imagination, in terms of being able to actually like complete tasks and focus on the task, aside from just being like, I need a phone, you know, but like, hey, build this shit. Fuck off. It's Legos or something.
Or that we adapt to cater to those that are, which seems like what we're progressing towards, where we're learning to cater and learning to adapt and learning to make things easier so that we can, because those things are hard. You're not wrong. It's not that we shouldn't progress towards that, but there's other ways. Like your solution's probably the right solution, but to who? Because there's another way to do it, and it's to adapt. It's to make it easier.
I think that's where you're seeing a divide happen.
A very big divide
in terms of people that
who's
want
winning
ease and safety and people that don't.
Yeah, there's a silent majority, I think, though, of people that want it a little bit harder.
No, I don't think there's. I think there's a very loud minority of people that want ease and safety. And then I think it also depends where you are in the country.
It depends what generationally too, because if you look at it generationally, Jesus Christ.
Milkshake.
I know. Anyway, but it seems like the younger generation values safety over their ability to risk and their ability to you have to give up your ability to grow as a human and ability to expand and create if you want safety. You give up things for safety. Look at China. These kids seem that like they're more open for like monitoring of social media because they understand that Instagram is bad and that Facebook's bad. Like they're like, monitor us, track our phones because we need to know who the motherfuckers are out there.
Who are these kids that
this generation? Do you not? You don't follow anything. No, I don't. I don't know a single goddamn kid. I don't talk to anybody under 18. You know why? I don't relate to. I don't know them.
I know like a decent amount of kids because they're kids of people at the gym. And again, this is like a cohort of.
And you think that you have a bunch of normal people that come to your gym.
No, I'm saying this is a cohort of like definite like things are gonna be hard people.
Mhm,
But that shit still very much exists. Like,
mhm,
and I think we're gonna see, and this is a very big conversation, but it turns back to I think what we're seeing in some, and I don't like being binary in terms of Democrat and Republican because
mhm,
it's much more complicated than that, and they're both the same at the end of the day. But you're seeing the reaction to the safety police in a way when with these elections that just happened, then you're going to see a bigger one because you're seeing the turn away from the safety and everything needs to be monitored. We need a nanny state. Every
mhm.
time someone Republican or red gets elected, it's a fuck you. Like New Jersey almost turned fucking red. New
Didn't Virginia
Jersey,
turn?
Virginia turned.
That's wild.
Like New Jersey though,
I don't
that
know what.
motherfucker
See,
hasn't
I
been
wish
red
I
ever.
understood. Like, I wish I understood the connections of how, like, what that means. Like, I understand politics to a certain extent. I just don't understand how, like, what it means if Virginia turns like, oh my God, like, and
It
like the
means
Iowa caucus and like that kind of thing. Like,
Iowa's
why certain?
important
That's the
because it's
thing.
the
I don't
first
understand.
one, so it sets the tone. Um,
And that annoys me. I'm like, why does the
yeah,
tone matter?
there's a weird amount of like
That's what I mean.
importance pressed on places that
Uh-huh.
don't particularly
Hmm.
fucking matter.
Like in Rhode Island, like you explained that, like it's the smallest state, man. Like I don't understand. That's the problem.
um,
So like I understand politics up to a
no, the
point.
electoral college is fucking stupid. That
Uh-huh.
should be a popular vote. But no, when you're looking at, oh, this is a good argument for it not to be. I just made in my own head, but
We'll go through with it.
no, so the reason that like Virginia turning is important is because Virginia is heavily influenced by Northern Virginia. Virginia south of Fredericksburg, which is down 95 from DC, about an hour and a half, hour 15, hour and a half, depending on traffic.
Mhm.
Could be 4 hours. It sucks sometimes. But south of Fredericksburg, it's red. There's not a question about it. It will be red and it's been red.
Mhm.
Um, then you get like a pocket of blue in like
Mhm.
Blacksburg and Richmond, but DC's so heavily influenced in Northern Virginia in terms of like a lot of people that work in government live in Northern Virginia, not in DC proper, right?
So that's usually blue.
Right now,
Okay.
because who's in charge, who's in power,
Oh yeah, that makes sense. So the
right?
guy that's working.
But also it's closer to like a metropolitan center.
Uh-huh.
And DC is historically like when I went to vote one time as a Republican, registered Republican in DC, it was 5 o'clock in the night, and they literally were like, "You're the first one today." Like that's how blue DC is, and the
Like the
area.
Reds don't even try.
Yeah, they like legitimately, dude. I swear to God, I wrote in my buddy on a fucking city council ticket for like a Republican,
Uh-huh.
like nominee.
Yeah.
He came in second.
Just because you
Just because
you were the first one to show up.
I fucking wrote his name, man. Just like there's no fucking Republicans in DC.
Well, that's
So the area around it's also pretty heavily blue. And
so
the
why.
thing about
Yeah.
Virginia turning, which is bonkers, is that the population centers of DC and Northern Virginia have grown so much, and when they grew, they turned from red to blue because it grew and shifted the rest of the state. But it just shifted back, including Northern Virginia.
Hmm.
That's the fucking thing. Northern Virginia under a Democrat administration just shifted away because they were like, "Oh no, we're gonna
That's not
reject
good.
that shit."
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's after throwing like everything in the fucking book down there. You send everyone. They sent AOC, they sent Biden, they sent Kamala. She's like, "What happens here is indicative of what'll happen in the rest of the country." 2 fucking days later,
Oh
they get blown out of the
no.
water.
Oh no.
So people are rejecting this like nanny state, mandate state, all this shit.
Pause real quick. This just feels like a sports team. Then, like, I feel like bad for them almost now. Like, I'm like, oh no,
that's
they're
the
getting
thing.
kicked. They're getting kicked. They're down. Oh no.
Politics are essentially
I know. I'm
sports
excited
for
right
most
now.
people.
I know. Like, I'm so excited right now because I'm like, oh, that team just got their ass kicked. This team's winning, and I'm not for anybody. I'm just like, I'm for a good match.
That's the fucking thing, though. A lot of people they get so tied up in their team that whatever their team says is right. It's like,
Yeah, people cut people's like throats at soccer games,
yeah, it's the same thing. Like the shit,
and this has to do with money and like
and like
Lionel Messi.
everything.
Everything.
It's not just like Chelsea, Tottenham, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
no, but like in in Kenosha with the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, that's just a fucking team situation.
Dude.
That's just a team thing.
Well, that's the thing. It shouldn't even be like it should be on trial, but it shouldn't be blown up to this proportion,
No.
like to where like it's national news. But I think Tim Dillon put it best when he's like, they need someone to blame. Like they can't. Kenosha needs someone to be like, this guy is why all this rioting,
It's
why
not.
everything happened. No, that they need something to like direct on, because if they lose this, why did all this happen? Like then you have to generally go back to the real reason. It kind of unveils like,
And people don't want to deal with that.
why would you want to deal with that?
You need a scapegoat.
Yeah. And if you look at the case, who like this isn't like a racial case here. Like
No,
there's
white people and white people.
But how do you feel if he gets by, if he's like exonerated, that they're not going to turn this racially, like to be like this white kid? How though? Because
it was riots because of black guy. It's
I know
mental gymnastics shit. There's a really interesting case.
That's a lot of hoops you have to jump through,
Yep.
though. And this is the thing. Probably he's going to get off because it was such a terrible
On account of the evidence, yeah.
evidence. But, well, the evidence, obviously, but like just did you see that the judge went off on the prosecutor?
No.
Because of how inept he was being for trying to he was trying to lead the jury and be like,
oh yeah.
Yeah. So
the jury said there was people in the jury that said they didn't want to convict him, but they were worried about like personal backlash.
I would be, wouldn't you?
That's a broken justice system. Like,
yeah,
they're like, oh, that guy's not guilty of these things, but we might say he is, so people don't track us down and hurt us and our family.
Yeah, self-preservation.
That's fucking bonkers. So that should be a mistrial. That right there is a mistrial. If you can't have a jury exist because they're so influenced by like dangers of the citizen.
Because like as soon as like they come out with that
prejudice,
as soon as they come out with that and the news comes out like he's not guilty, if it happens, like
it's gonna be a mistrial.
You think this is gonna be a mistrial?
It's gonna be a mistrial that you can't try again, because they're not gonna come out not guilty. But there's no way, based on all the fucking shenanigans, that they can convict and have it be like an actual.
We'll see.
Example.
So what do you think is going to happen then? So Tuesday, probably Tuesday when this comes out, right?
Yeah, we'll find out.
Or today, or does it have? I don't know how this works.
Probably, I don't know.
So
I think that if it's a mistrial, there will also be less rioting. I think if he's exonerated, like declared not guilty, there's a lot of rioting. I think if it's a mistrial, it's a way to save a little bit of.
I think he's safe.
No, I think he needs the witness protection program probably. But then, fucking, what are you gonna do with that? That's not Kyle Rittenhouse. I was like, I know that guy's face. Like,
yeah. Unfortunately, that baby-faced, fucking soft, round cheek
witness protection program doesn't fucking work anymore.
Cute kid. Like, he better not be able to go to jail. He's not gonna do well there.
Or he'd do great. The Aryan Brotherhood would for some fucking reason probably be like, hey man, even though he killed white people. Like,
yeah.
Because they're also stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
There, I just took a shot at the Aryan Brotherhood on the air. Look at that. I'm strong. I'm tough.
I'm gonna remain neutral for now.
That speaks volumes.
Yeah, well.
I don't think we have any Aryan Brotherhood listeners.
Yeah, thank God.
Not neutral.
Did you ever see that video of that college when they're having a communist like sit meeting or whatever, and they were talking and it's like, oh, hi comrades, thank you comrades, and then it goes point of personal privilege. And this guy stands up, hey guys, I have sensory overload, so if we could just keep the chatter to a minimum. And then after he gets done, the guy goes, point of personal privilege, point of personal privilege. Can you not use gendered language when you address us? It's like, what is going on?
They can't get anything done.
Because they're checking each other. It's like, thank you, comrades. This chick's up there like, oh my God, what did I get myself into?
Dude,
I had to argue a communist in class one time. It's interesting because like they truly believe they're right. And it's like
Yeah, but so do you.
Here's the thing. I was arguing it for more like just questioning, like it's philosophy class. Like all I'm doing is questioning. But like these kids were like diehard, like communists. Like
They
they're
were
like,
communists who went to Miami University.
yes, yeah. Like they were in my classes, and if they're going to show up anywhere, it's in philosophy where you learn about
I just
communism and
think it's
shit.
funny that they're communists
It's
at
weird, dude.
Miami
I
University.
know it's so weird because like when you're talking to them, like they truly believe. Like I'm just coming and pointing out things like, well, maybe, you know, like, and just coming from different philosophical points of view, and like even the teacher, and then they're getting worked up because you're destroying their identity. Like I've watched my like professor, he was just like, well, this is why it didn't work here. This is why, you know, we have other philosophies. This is probably where some of these negative, this is how we like overcome these ideological, this is where it goes wrong. And then you could just see they'd have meltdowns. And I remember this like just fire crotch kid standing up and just, can you say that? Fire crotch?
I don't know. Probably.
I can. This fucking fire crotch stood up and just like, he's like, this isn't fair. Like he's like about to flame on, dude. Like, dude, like,
name like Tim.
oh my God. Oh my God. Do you know Tim, the Muffin Man?
Was it really?
You know, it was Tim, I think.
Yeah.
You know this guy, huh?
I was in a dorm with a communist kid named Tim with red hair.
You know him.
Andy was in some fucking business class with that kid too.
Yeah, dude.
He was a
Fucking
mess.
yeah. Yeah. Had my knife on my hip the entire class. I'm like, God, this kid.
He's not gonna. You think he was just autistic?
Oh, so now all communists are autistic. Great. Now we
No,
have the
you
Aryan
wanted the
Brotherhood
knife- you
gonna
wanted
fucking
the knife and autistic guy is the way I'm gonna spin this, and that's politics right there. I talked over you and said my point first, so I win. That's how that
That's
goes.
fair. I don't know what to say. I guess I accept the charges as is.
All right, good episode.
This is it. That's it.
Yeah, I gotta piss really bad,
Oh, okay. Well,
and people didn't like it when it was 55 minutes long last time.
yeah, well. I'm sorry, I guess. I don't
We had a
know.
lot to talk about.
Yeah. We should I like the conspiracy talk. Because it's truly something I know nothing
You
about.
want to do more of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't know anything about it. And it's like, get mad at me. Go ahead. Like say
I know
say-
a lot about it.
Yeah, I know. I like learning about it. But like when people are like, you don't even know what you're talking about. That's not even what happened. It's like, cool, I'm starting a new conspiracy.
I'll show up because we're not gonna be here next week because of Thanksgiving.
We might have a guest.
I won't be here next week.
Yes, I'm really hoping to bring in
A surprise guest.
a surprise guest. Oh my God.
But if
Do you not want to run classes in metal clanking on the thing that is holding the sound device? Yeah, that's definitely picking up. What do you think microphones do?
Yeah. I don't know.
Pick up vibration.
I'll come in 2 weeks from now with a good conspiracy we can talk about.
Cool. And I guess we'll see if Mr. Rittenhouse is guilty or not guilty or mistrialed, or like if he's around in 2 weeks. Interesting. Maybe gone. Cool.